On April 17, 2025, officers were dispatched to a bar in reference to a customer causing a disturbance.
Witnessed the suspect. They are overly intoxicated, cut them off. They were stumbling, knocked over several chairs, and they were trying to get into a customer's Uber.
Trying to get back in
They're harassing this group over here.
What's going on?
I'm not trying to be a dickhead, but she's easy to get away from us.
This one here?
Yeah, I'm not trying to be a Thank you, man.
Yep. Hey, how you doing, miss?
Okay, so
What are you trying to do?
what's that?
What are you trying to do right now?
Just like just gonna get like I'm okay.
Do you have your phone?
What's that?
Do you have your phone?
Yeah,
Yeah. Let's call an Uber and get you home.
I'm okay. I don't need to. I don't
Where are you going to go right now?
What's that?
Where are you going to go right now?
This is an important legal moment. Under the law, officers don't need someone to commit a violent crime to intervene. Disorderly intoxication alone can justify removal if a person is disturbing others or putting themselves at risk. Notice how the officers repeatedly offer alternatives. Calling an Uber, leaving the area, creating distance. Those offers matter. From a legal standpoint, this shows attempts at de-escalation. But here's the tension. The suspect keeps saying, "I'm okay," while her behavior suggests otherwise. Slurred speech, confusion, invading personal space, all red flags. So let me ask you, if someone insists they're fine, but their actions say the opposite, who should the law believe, words or behavior?
Okay, so why who called that in?
So the thing is, regardless of where you go, you're too close to people and they're bothered by your presence. So why should you move along somewhere else? I said you're bothering people, so you have to go somewhere else. You're way too close to them.
I'm okay.
You also got a call that you were trying to enter someone else's Uber, which was not yours.
I'm okay.
But clearly you're not okay if you're trying to enter someone else's Uber.
I'm really okay. I don't know.
How are you getting home tonight?
I'm gonna be like.
How are we getting home?
How?
Yes, how? Are you walking? Are you riding a unicycle?
I'm gonna walk in your face like walking.
Okay, don't put your finger in my face, okay?
You just say that.
Get your phone out, let's call an Uber, let's get you home, okay?
I might be okay.
Where are you going to go?
What?
Where are you going right now?
I'm gonna be in Jupiter.
Jupiter?
Yeah.
Jupiter's like 20 miles from here.
Yeah.
So how are we going to get to Jupiter?
Don't worry about it.
We're trying to get you home without finding you passed out on the middle of the street somewhere else.
Don't worry about it.
We're trying to help you, miss.
You okay?
We're trying to help you. Just
I'm okay.
Can you
Leave.
take your phone out?
I'm okay. Don't worry about it.
Well,
I'm okay.
this became a problem ever since you got a call.
I say so much. Please, I'm gonna get some water.
Okay, hold on. Don't spit on me.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
I did not.
Okay?
I did not at all. Thank you. I'm okay. Thank you.
Ma'am. Ma'am, we told you to leave. Let's go.
What's that?
We told you to leave. Let's go.
Okay, so I'm sorry about that. I don't know what you're saying. I'm just asking that. I'm asking where I stop. I'm asking where my phone. I'm asking my phone
Your
about
phone?
that. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
So go talk to staff.
Yes.
I'll talk to them, okay?
Yes. I don't know you. Asian?
Over there.
You Asian?
Wait over there.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
She wants a phone.
Where's your phone? Well, actually, just I'll go look.
Get it. I'm sorry. I'm looking like Asian.
What does your phone look like?
Sir?
What does your phone look like?
Sir?
What does your phone look like?
Okay, so my phone number is gonna be.
I don't want your phone number. What does the phone look like? Is it
After 16, I think.
okay? Well, I don't know that. It's your phone. What's the case? Is it clear? Just wait over there.
What's the background?
Okay, so you know me. You know me.
What's the background on the phone?
What's that?
What is the background of your phone?
Okay, so.
What is your screensaver on the phone? When you turn the phone on, what does it show?
This is where frustration turns into chaos. The missing phone may seem minor, but legally and emotionally, it's a pressure cooker. The suspect is impaired, confused, and now fixated on retrieving property, while officers are trying to maintain control of a public scene. Notice how communication breaks down completely. Officers ask clear questions. The answers don't line up. That disconnect is dangerous because confusion can quickly look like noncompliance. And once officers perceive resistance, even verbal or physical confusion, the situation escalates fast. So here's something to think about. Should intoxication be treated with more patience? Or does it actually require firmer control to prevent harm?
You know what? What's her phone number? Just call her, bro.
What's your phone number?
I think that's him.
You call Google without your phone.
Ma'am,
Hey, let's just...
what's your phone number? I'm going to call it. What is your phone number?
Hey.
What are you doing?
Hey, chill out, though. So...
Chill out.
What's on the
No, you chill out. Chill out. I'm gonna figure it out. Okay, so this.
Don't resist. We'll take you to the ground.
Don't resist, alright?
Okay, so 1 second.
We will take you to the ground. Hey,
Resist, alright?
Hey.
Give me your hands. Don't resist, alright?
This is the turning point. When officers say don't resist, that's not a suggestion. It's a legal boundary. Resistance, even brief or unintentional, changes everything. From this moment forward, the situation is no longer about getting home safely. It's about officer safety and control. The law allows officers to use reasonable force to gain compliance once resistance occurs. And here's the hard truth. Panic, intoxication, or confusion don't erase legal consequences. They explain behavior, but they don't excuse it. Watching this unfold, ask yourself honestly, was this resistance or a person too impaired to understand what was happening?
Okay, so 1 second.
stop.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
No, don't. Just get your hands
Hey,
up.
stop. Leave me alone.
Just
Leave
put
me alone.
handcuffs.
Hey, stop. Oh my gosh.
You got it?
Ouch. Ouch. Oh my god. Hey.
stop.
Is that true? Ow. Okay, so I'm gonna go pee. I'm gonna pee, thank you.
You gonna pee here?
Yes. No, I'm gonna pee. Oh my gosh. Is it fine? Okay, so let's go to see that place. Okay?
Got it? Yeah. Alright, what are we doing? You gotta search. Hey,
Hi, what? Angelina?
just check the ID.
Yeah. Oh my god, you guys wasting time.
What was that?
You guys wasting time.
On? Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Please. Hey!
Hey, do you have any weapons on you?
No!
You have nothing.
I have my ID, my...
At this stage, the arrest process is fully underway. You hear questions about weapons, ID checks, and positioning, all standard procedure once someone is detained. Even though the suspect insists she's being hurt or mistreated, officers repeatedly state they're not causing harm. That contrast is crucial in court. Body language, tone, and bodycam footage will all be analyzed later to determine whether force was justified. This is also where emotional reactions can make things worse. Every kick, refusal, or outburst compounds potential charges. So think about this. Once someone is handcuffed, should officers pause more? Or does continued resistance remove that option?
Hurt! Get my... I'm gonna get fucking go. I'm gonna get mad. Yes, I'm gonna get mad. Okay, so call the police right now.
We are the police.
Okay, so call... Check my ID. Ow! You're hurting me! Hey! Ow! Hey! Hello! Can somebody get hurt me?
What are you doing? We're not even hurting you.
No, he's not.
We're doing nothing to you.
Yes!
Man, we were gonna
You guys gonna get worse than...
Your name is Angelina?
Yes!
IDs in there?
Yes!
Okay.
Ow!
Let's just put it on.
Get out!
Don't kick me! Yeah. Put her in.
I'm okay now.
You just. Ooh.
No, he just saw it.
Get in the car.
No, he just saw it.
Stop kicking me.
Out, out.
Get in the car. Get in the car.
Oh my god.
Get in the car.
Oh my god.
Just leave her sit down. Man.
Yep.
Yeah. Here I'm my car. He said, I'm okay. Thank you. I'm okay.
All right, stand up.
Yeah.
Stand
I
up.
said, I'm okay.
Stand up.
I said, okay. Can I get my ID and with my purse? Thank you. How about that?
Stand up.
Oh, yes. Hey, guys.
Watch your legs. Watch your legs.
Okay, so I'm okay. I said, I'm okay. Okay, so, what we say? Hey,
Get in
I'm
the
not
car.
gonna go that way. Oh! Oh, wow.
Why don't you just sit comfortably? I don't
Okay,
understand.
so I don't understand that way. If you're gonna fucking
exactly,
sit
act
out.
like a human being and
Yeah, I'm
sit
gonna
down.
fucking laugh out.
What are you-
Sit me out.
What are you doing?
Oh
Like,
my god, I'm okay.
Can you sit up now?
can you sit up now? Like, can you
Yeah.
act normal?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Then
Yes.
go ahead and sit down.
Yes,
Yes, what?
yes. Please, baby.
Just sit down normally, like
Yeah.
a human being. Come on.
Yeah.
Yourself on the chair.
I don't understand what you're saying. Like,
Okay, so I'm okay. You have my information for what wasting time.
you don't understand what I'm saying. I
Okay,
want you
so
to.
my hand is fucking tied.
Exactly, because you want to go like that. Just sit down. Come on.
I'm okay.
No, you're not. Sit down properly.
This prolonged struggle to sit properly may look small, but legally, it's massive. Officers cannot transport someone unsafely. Refusing to sit correctly isn't just inconvenience. It's a safety risk. And that's why you hear repeated commands, escalating frustration, and firm physical guidance. From a courtroom perspective, prosecutors often point to moments like this to show ongoing resistance. Defense attorneys argue intoxication and distress. This is where juries split. So here's the real debate. Is this continued defiance, or a system failing to manage an impaired individual humanely?
I'm okay.
You're gonna break your hands like that.
I'm okay.
Hey, you just call it out, by the way. 10:15.
Literally, I'm okay, please. Literally.
Literally what?
Literally, I'm gonna see your face. You're gonna put me off on.
All right, come on, sit down.
I'm okay.
You have to sit down.
No, I say I'm
You
okay.
can't transport her like that.
You have everything what you need.
Move her by her, grab her arm.
Yes, it is. I cannot move.
Can you like sit down normal?
Yes.
All right, come on. Bro, put her legs down.
They have the information what they need,
Hey, glove,
bro. They would like
put
it.
gloves so that she pee herself.
If you gonna
For real.
fucking see that,
I have it all over my leg now, so.
oh, so yes.
Appreciate it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
so open up, please. You have the information, that everything.
I just want you to sit down, literally.
No, I don't need it. Literally.
Literally what?
Literally,
Just- there we go.
okay, not gonna
Thank
get
you.
mad for that.
Can you? There we go. Just awesome. Please, what? How can we help you?
Now that you have my ID.
Yeah, we have it. Thank you so much.
Okay, so that's my thing.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome. All right, Angelina, thank you.
Okay, so what?
By the end of this encounter, the charges are serious. Battery on specified personnel, resisting an officer with violence, and disorderly intoxication. What started as a bar disturbance ended with criminal allegations that carry lasting consequences. This case highlights a harsh reality. Interactions don't freeze just because someone says, "I'm okay." Courts look at actions, not intentions. Officers are judged on procedure. Suspects are judged on compliance. And alcohol blurs every line in between. So now it's your turn. Did the officers handle this appropriately? Or did this situation escalate unnecessarily? If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.